All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards short. Of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida, spins past him. He's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
No, check, Patriot! Gun!
Lauletta now to throw it. Finding a safety valve here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Now they try the right side here. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Leopard!
On 1st and 10, Lauletta. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Here's Breida. And a solid run down inside the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's Breida. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 29 yards. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They run again on first down. Cook able to escape. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball. Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. 2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. A give, this is Cook. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry. Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, Njoku.
Tally that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Cook. Down to about the 22 here. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Now Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
This is Breida.
Green, 39!
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier.
All right,
Now they're out there again to try once more.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They run for him with Breida. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Handoff comes to Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Mayfield on play action. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip through.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this.
Gone!
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go play action. Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time. And now it's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
On is the punter King to send it away. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout, and they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gostkowski's kick is good. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Again, it's Cook. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. Whoosh! He's still on his feet. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to throw, Lauletta. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 20. Seven. They run it again with Cook. Down to the 25. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Gun!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First down carry here for Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
No. Check. Patriot!
Again, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Mayfield off the play fake. On the move to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Back now in Houston, it's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he spins past him and into space. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They go to Johnson again. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught. Jones. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41.
No, Jack Patrick.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a first carry for their fullback. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe. Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it? Yep. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. The give to the fullback on the dive. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 11. On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well, the Lombardi Trophy would be nice to hoist. They have to hold off for that for a little bit. Right now, the Lamar Hunt has to feel good to hold.
Oh, it's got to feel